of today will be on the topic Imagining a Future that is a confluence of PM Gati Shakti and National Logistics Policy. The key discussion points in this discussion would be: how can PM Gati Shakti and NLP benefit the logistics industry and the Indian economy? What does the government say regarding the implementation of these policy measures? What is the industry's reaction to PM Gati Shakti and NLP? Is it really possible to create a perfect logistics ecosystem through these two policy measures? Are any further policy interventions required in this regard? And finally, what can be the way forward in this direction? Ladies and gentlemen, let's begin the discussion. To chair the plenary session, I would like to welcome Mr. K. Mohandas, Chairman, India Sea Trade, onto stage, please. Sir, may I request you to kindly proceed on stage? Ladies and gentlemen, can we hear a loud round of applause for Mr. K. Mohandas, Chairman, India Sea Trade. Joining him on the dais is none other than Mr. S. K. Mehta, Chairman, Deen Dayal Port Authority. Mr. S. K. Mehta is a senior IFS officer of 1990 batch from Gujarat, Kerala, with more than 30 years experience in public administration and governance. Prior to joining Deen Dayal Port Authority as chairman on 17th April 2019, he was additional principal chief conservator of forests, Junagadh Circle, Government of Gujarat. In a long and distinguished career, Mr. Mehta has held several key assignments in the state government, including prestigious JBIC project as CF JBIC Gandhinagar. He has worked as Deputy Conservator of Forests in Junagadh, Mehsana, Vadodara and Kutch region. Shri Mehta has served as Executive Director, Gujarat Agro Industries Corporation Limited, Ahmedabad. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. S. K. Mehta to the dais. Welcome, sir. May I now invite our next speaker, Mr. Nanduri Srinivas, Director, Operations and Business Development, Dedicated Freight Corridor Corporation. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nanduri Srinivas, an IRTS officer of 1989 batch. He has joined the DFCCIL as Director, Operations and Business Development in June 2020. In the year 1991, he was joined the Indian Railways. He has worked in important key posts of Indian Railways, like Chief Passenger Transportation Manager and Chief Traffic Planning Manager, Southwestern Railway, Hubli. Apart from these posts, he has also worked as Executive Director, Fuel Transportation, NTPC, Executive Director, Coal Movement, Singareni Collieries Coal Limited, and General Manager, IRCTC, Hyderabad. He's got also interest in outdoor sports, and he's also a vivid reader. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Nanduri Srinivas. Let's move on to our next speaker of the session, Mr. Narendra A. Patel, IRTS Chief Freight Transportation Manager, Western Railway. He's a 1995 batch officer of Indian Railway Traffic Service. He worked in the Revenue Department as Tahsildar, Class 1 for 9 months before joining IRTS. He is a civil engineer by qualification from Pune University. In his distinguished career as an IRTS officer, he has held many important posts in Northeast Frontier Railway and Central Railway, Maharashtra. He attended various training programs like Advanced Management Program at Singapore, Malaysia, Urban Transport Training at Hong Kong, Singapore by Ministry of Urban Development and Management Training at Gurgaon. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Narendra A. Patel is here with us. Welcome, sir. And now let me take this opportunity to invite none other than Mr. Rahul Modi, Member, National Shipping Board. Mr. Modi, ladies and gentlemen, is actively engaged in Indian coastal shipping services for 26 years and has dedicated his professional life for the development of coastal shipping in India. He is part of central government as a member of the National Shipping Board and holds key positions in various national association and trade bodies. Ladies and gentlemen, can we hear a loud round of applause for these gentlemen who form the panel of the plenary session. I'd like to hand over the floor to Mr. K. Mohandas to preside the session. So over to you.
My distinguished friends on the dais and in the hall. I had spoken to you at the beginning of the session, and most of you were there at that time, but many of you were not there. Although it is a valid reason for me to repeat what I said, I would certainly not dare to do that at this fag end of the day, towards the closing of this session. I certainly don't want to repeat. One of the things you would have noticed is that some of the eminent speakers who were expected have not come. This is because of what you call that the Parliament session syndrome. Earlier in the day I spoke about how major things happened in Parliament earlier this week. The President's address to Parliament, the presentation of the economic survey, and the budget speech, which is very, very critical for almost all economic activities. So this is all happening in Parliament. Apart from that, there is the routine business of Parliament, where you have the question answers, the various other things that are associated with a Parliament session. Problem is, when Parliament is in session, ministers and senior officers find it difficult to go out of Delhi. And that's why the Honorable Minister of State, Mr. Shakti had to come online. And although it would have been possible to get some of the eminent speakers online, I think it was probably prudently decided that we would prefer to keep this meeting for physical interaction rather than just conveying of online messages. So that's why this session may be leaner in terms of the number of speakers, but definitely we have key speakers, very, very important people who would be able to talk on the key issue which has been posted for discussion here, which is imagining a future that's a confluence of PM Gati Shakti and national logistics policy. These two expressions, PM Gati Shakti and the national logistics policy, I think these would be constant expressions in any discussion on logistics matters in the immediate future, in the days to come. This is because the logistics policy was being prepared. I'm sure many of you have heard the senior officers, including the former Special Secretary Mr. Shivashailam, he was here last time, speak on the preparation of the national logistics policy. So that is very important. And PM Gati Shakti again, it was a work in progress, and it has probably reached a stage of being an effective one. So for all the big things that are declared in the budget, the 75,000 crores investment into the 100 critical identified projects, the 13.5 lakhs crores of investment into infrastructure. So all these things that are going to happen in this country will have the close backing of the policy and the Gati Shakti program. The technology platforms that are created will enable the effective monitoring of the various projects as they happen. Here, slightly deviating, we spoke about lots of other things, slightly deviating from the main theme. Earlier, in the first session, the moderator, Samir, talked about air transport being part of the multimodal method of movement of goods and people, whatever. In the second session, there was a more detailed discussion on why this part of Gujarat is suffering from poor air infrastructure. This is something which is, I would say, surprising, because the Kutch region handles the bulk of maritime cargo in this country. The two of the biggest ports in the country are here, and the ports are becoming bigger and bigger as I was reading about the tuna coming up again. So with all these things, with all the huge logistics, maritime logistics business in this part of the country, which necessarily demands the other modes of connectivity to be effective. Rail connectivity, of course, is already done, substantially done. Highways, yes. But why is it that this place does not have a decent airport where people can come, which people can use for travel to the Kutch region? The airfares yesterday for travel from Mumbai to Kanada was of the order of 23,000 rupees. A 1 hour, 15 minutes flight in a turboprop aircraft was at a cost of 23,000 rupees. This ugly fare structure has to be demolished if people are to travel to this part of the country. And people need to travel because not that travel is as integral a part of business as it was in the past. May not be. A lot of business can happen online. But then there is no substitute for physical movement. And that physical movement requires quality infrastructure. The question is, which should come first? Infrastructure or established demand? I would say infrastructure should be developed first if there is a potential demand, if you can see a potential demand. And Gandhidham, Kanada, the Kutch region is a place where you can see a potential demand, and there is absolutely no reason why a decent airport could not be built here. So my request to Mr. S.K. Mehta, Chairman of the Port, why don't you take the initiative? Because the port itself need not be spending a lot of money, but because the airports are coming up, airports have come up, the big airports are already transferred to the private sector. There are private operators. The big guys are all from this place. They can do it. So somebody has to take the initiative, and maybe the port authority can think of developing the airport as well. But when I say this, I must confess that I have not looked at the position in any priority list, because I don't know, frankly, I have not looked at it, and I don't really know whether Kanada Airport is a priority in the various lists of infrastructure projects. Well, friends, here we have people who are in the field, who are the practitioners of what we talk about. So I will not take much longer. I would now conclude here and request Mr. S.K. Mehta, Chairman of the Deen Dayal Port Authority, to address us. Thank you very much.
Very good evening to all the esteemed delegates of this analysis. Sri K. Mohan Das ji, Chairman, India Secretary, Sri Nanduri Srinivas ji, Director, DFCCIA, Narendra Patil ji, CFTM Western Railway, Rahul Modi ji, Member, National Shipping Board, representatives from industry, trade associations, friends from press and media, and illustrious audience. At the outset, I express my gratitude for inviting me to join this plenary session. As you all know, we have all gathered here for a discussion on imagining future. That is a confluence of PM Gati Shakti and National Logistics Policy. As Mohandas ji left us right now told regarding taking active interest in development of airports. And I must have a Deputy Chairman and this is here. He has taken initiative. He has taken some initiative. And I think this thing, the development of airport, development of flights here has been taken up to the highest level from the board. So it would be monitored at the highest level now. So since you have raised this issue, sir, so I thought I should tell this audience here that we are serious about it. We know that airport connectivity, airport, development of better airport is very vital for this area. Two major ports are there, two big ports are there. We have a lot of business here. The days are not far when we would see cargo flights would be operating from Manila. So seeing the future development of airport is really a necessity. Regarding Gati Shakti track, I would like to say that the policies should support the logistics ecosystem and enable single window approach. The plan should exert for proper coordination between centers and states. Actually, PM Shakti is a coordination between 16 central ministries and the state government departments. The policy should address the genuine concerns of India's maritime sector also, to integrate the local supply chains with the international market. Talking about Deen Dayal Port, let me inform the august audience present here that Deen Dayal Port has taken up 10 projects worth about 3,200 crores under the ambitious PM Gati Shakti program, the National Master Plan. These 3,200 crore projects are already under various stages of implementation. We are already implementing these projects. These are under various stages of implementation. Apart from these, about 7,000 crore projects has been envisaged as additional projects which are to be implemented. In total, in PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan, we have 17 projects worth about 10,000 crores. As you all know, just 2-3 days back, one of the biggest investment, I must say, the largest investment in major port sector has come to Punjab. DP World has won the container terminal at Multimodal. They are going to invest about 4,200 crores rupees. Port is going to invest about 300 crore rupees for common facility. So 4,005 crore investment would be coming to this area just right now. This would be a big achievement. This terminal has a capacity to change the shipping ecosystem, the traditional container ecosystem of this area. Not only this area, I must say, this has the capacity to change the container ecosystem of western coast area. When we come to talk about multimodal logistics, we are on to some very important projects. Ro-Ro-Ro-Pax facility projects, which is a very important part for multimodal connectivity. Honorable Prime Minister has already inaugurated Bhoga 3-4 months back. A service is going on from Hazira to Boga. Is Ro-Pax service. This is the first Ro-Pax service being operated in Gujarat and being operated very successfully. Apart from Boga and Hazira, we are also on to Multimodal. We are trying to develop Multimodal as a Ro-Pax center. We are trying to develop Pipavav also, and just recently our ministry has given the job to develop Diu also. We will be developing Diu also as a Ro-Pax center. So that is an additional job that has just been given to us. We have a lot of multimodal projects that are in pipeline. We are on to big infrastructure projects. We are on the way. We are on the way to become a mega port. Our goal is to make Kandla a mega port by 2030. We have a plan has been approved. Maritime plan 2030 has been approved, in which Deen-Dayal port is to be developed as a mega port. We are making a plan. We are making an Amrit Kaal plan, that is 2047 plan for our port. So 2047 plan is also in the making. I think within a month or two we will be releasing that plan. That plan will be approved and will be released. That would become a game changer for this area. We are proposing many more facilities, many more terminals, many more additional facilities during the next 15 to 20 years, which would come up in this area. That would be having the capacity to change the face of complete business system here. As you all know, a lot of infrastructure projects are already ongoing in the project area to regularize traffic. We have introduced RFID system, gate automation system. This RFID system is a modern system. It's just not automation of gates. It will be having an eye on the cargo which is being handled by each truck. Which cargo is coming by which truck, which cargo is going by the truck, that will be monitored. There will be geo-fencing also. By geo-fencing we will be able to know the area in which truck has to go, the truck has to go in that area only. If it crosses the limit, we will come to it. So geo-fencing would also be one of the part of our RFID system. It is a modern RFID system that will be implemented at our. We are in the initial stages now, but hopefully within the next 6 months, I think we will be able to fully operate our RFID system to its full potential. We are also creating a unique war room, unique control room at our port. Due to security reasons, we are installing 500 cameras in our port. All these 500 cameras would be integrated at a video wall in the control center, in the control room, in the war room. That would be monitored by CISF, that would be monitored by our team also. Out of those 500 cameras, 200 cameras have already been integrated. The work has already been started, and within a few days or within a month or so, it will start functioning fully. As we all know, just a few days ago, we have started our YLT number 7 also. That again is a big achievement for this area, YLT number 7. So infrastructure, multimodal connectivity, our port is quite serious about that. We are coordinating with NHAI, we are coordinating with railways, we are coordinating with other ministries also, so that multimodal connectivity at our port becomes a reality. Finally, I thank Chairman sea trade for inviting me to speak amongst such learned delegates, and thank everybody present here for their patient hearing. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Mr. Mehta. Actually, although we assembled here are from different parts of the country, we are all interested in what's happening in Kandla, Gati and this region, where, as I said earlier, it is the hub of maritime activity in the country. So it's definitely heartening to hear that lots of things are really going to happen, and definitely we look forward to the developments of that, all these projects, that the benefits being enjoyed by the whole country. Well, the next speaker is Mr. Nanduri Srinivas, is the director of the dedicated freight corporation, definitely which is one of the most important infrastructure organizations in the country, having been able to develop over the years some of the best rail infrastructure which will help the movement of multimodal movement, in the sense that cargo from northern India can move to the ports efficiently using the dedicated freight corporation.
Good evening to everybody. Respected Mohandas ji, Mehta ji, Narendra, Modi ji. It's a pleasant invitation. I got the invitation last year. I was there with all the seated professionals, so immediately I accepted it. Then later on I realized that it is in Kata. It is in Gandhidham. So once I said yes, I just planned to have a visit to our Ahmedabad and nearby areas, and then I thought I will have multimodal summit is something which we look forward to, and particularly the topic of PM Gati, Shakti and National Logistics Policy, which we are an integral part of it. Let me remind you, I stand before you as representing an iconic project which is worth about 1,25,000 crores, a mega project which has been initiated as a panacea for the unmet demand of Indian Railways, and to dispel the myths of freight movement, the paradigms associated with the freight movement. In common parlance, Malgadi is something which everybody used to call in a very derogatory sense. It's the uncared, unattended, slow moving, all these go synonyms to the freight train. Now I just wanted to give you that look at the speeds at which we are intending to move our freight trains. The speed is going to be 100, and let me also claim we run trains faster than Rajdhani. Our average speeds recorded in the DFC, dedicated freight corridor in the eastern part for the box and rakes, has been 99 plus. And similar thing is happening in western also. If I just recollect, in Indian Railways, we have always had the problem of line capacity. That is the number of trains, mixed trains, that is passenger as well as freight moving on the same track. People matter more, so it's natural that a passenger carrying train is given preference over the freight train. But how many of you have noticed when you purchase a ticket, behind the ticket there is something written that only 43% of the fare is paid by you, rest of the thing is paid by the government. So if you look at it, freight has been our blood earner for Indian Railways. However, it moves later, it moves secondary in priority to the passenger trains. Because of this congestion also which is created, the number of trains has a limitation. There is a limitation of number of trains which can be moved in a particular sector. We are not able to meet the full demand of the freight. To ameliorate this situation, dedicated freight corridors have been envisaged in the most congested routes of eastern and western. Eastern has been basically from Calcutta area towards Punjab, Ludhiana to Dankuni, that is the eastern dedicated freight corridor, from Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust to Dadri, that is the western railway, western dedicated freight corridor, both comprising about 3,300 kilometers. This project has been conceptualized in 2006, but real work has started from 2014 after a lot of hiccups and all that. Now for the last 10 years we have been beset with problems of land acquisition, later on the pandemic, but now last 1 year we have started running our trains and we have shown that yes, there will be a paradigm shift. And the results which we have shown in the last 1 year, I think all of you are aware that last year every newspaper has carried that National Capital Region is going to be plunged in darkness because most of the upcountry powerhouses do not have coal stocks. I think most people must have seen it. And a lot of people have said that this time Delhi is going to see coal, the dark nights. Nothing of that sort happened. Because we have proved that just in time is not a concept, it is no longer a cliche. We have made it a reality. Dadri power plant operated with 1.5 days for that coal stock for 1 month, till the full demand has been set, fully met. Now that has been made possible because 500 kilometers of dedicated freight corridor in the eastern sector has been made operational. And we have moved, can you believe the speeds of the average speeds I am talking about, the freight trains which are carrying coal to the National Capital Region and beyond, has been in excess of 65 kmph. And in the contiguous sections of Indian Railways, the speeds recorded are about 20. So triple the speed we have recorded. That has saved the country, or at least these parts, from plunging into darkness. So we have proved that if the right infrastructure has been made available, then your concept of just in time can be a reality. Time is the money. I'll tell you a very interesting episode which I encountered with one of the power sector professionals. As per CEA mandate, hinterland powerhouses have to stock 21 days of coal as a reserve stock. Now those powerhouses which have been associated with the DFC have revised their standards. They have now decided to go for 7 days powerhouse stock. Now imagine, it is almost equal to 200 crores of money released into the system on a daily basis. The dead capital which is stuck in the terms of dead stock has been released. This is the savings which we can claim that it has been made possible. Now this has reduced, number one, the operating cost of those power plants. Number two, the speed with which it is running, the trains are running, have enabled Indian Railways to cater to the increased demand of the coal with the same number of wagons. So this is the optimization which we have brought into the system. Now this is how the logistics cost is going to be reduced. Same thing applies for exempt traffic from western ports. Ever since we have connected Rewari to Palanpur, these 640 kilometers we have covered. Now we have started operating from the last, for the last 1 year, 1.5 years now. June 2021 we have completely covered. We have seen a growth of about 30% in the exempt traffic in this sector. And the reality was that it used to take from National Capital Center to Mundra Port, the container traffic used to take about 4 days. Now it is taking about 2 days. I think many of the container train operators can vouch for it. I have on my table a very gladly I can claim a letter from Maruti which says that they have received the consignment from Mundra port to their plant in 32 hours. So that is what has stopped their plant from stopping the production. We are able to achieve, and our motto has been faster, longer, heavier trains with safety. We are capable of moving, and this has been an integral part of the Prime Minister's Gati Shakti Yojana. Ultimately, Gati Shakti is what we are representing. We are representing speed, and we are representing higher and faster movement, longer trains. Now, in the national logistics policy, when it is envisaged that there will be better coordination and ease of doing business, unified portal, we have been doing all those things, and we have brought into this a reality. Dedicated freight corridor has, for the last 5 years, 6 years, has been striving to bring in customer focus. So our attempt has been to bring in more of railable commodities into the rail fold by offering unique logistic solutions. We have been mandated, of course, many of the people have questions about tariff policy. We have adopted the same tariff policy as that of Indian Railways. However, to attract the new traffic, non-conventional traffic which has hitherto been not going by rail, we have given incentives. Our policy has always been that for non-conventional traffic, we will adopt a class neutral and size neutral tariff policy. That's how we have introduced some of the new systems, new innovative policies. I think many of you might have seen, we have also started that RoRo. We called it Trucks on Train. Successfully for 1 year, we are again relaunching it with some modifications. We have already brought in some swab bodies, we have got in some of the road railers, and some of the new technologies where we are giving a cargo visibility. In fact, what we intend to roll out once it is fully established, we are expecting our entire dedicated freight corridor to be operational by the end of this year. We will be touching Mumbai, maybe short 100 kilometers of Mumbai we will be reaching, and probably by March 24 we will be completing that also. Then there is something which we will be unleashing, the potential of the faster movement by train and the benefits of speed, which will be converted in economy, and the goal of reducing the logistics cost, because the time frame is now, supply chain has always kept some delays into the supply chain mechanism. We are now cutting down the time element drastically, thereby that economies will be spilling over to all of you. Somebody has commented that there is unreliability. Yes, we intend to remove that unreliability. The reliability and assurance is what we are going to do. Transit assurances, which is going to be integral in our operation, is going to be given. Cargo visibility will be there. So these are the new initiatives, part of this Gati Shakti policy which we have adopted fully. Some of the terminals which are going to come on our system are going to be the most advanced terminals. I'll give you one other example. I don't know how many people have been handling bulk traffic. Majority of the traffic, ports it is all right, but in other sectors, bulk traffic is handled mostly by payloaders loading. Most unscientific, and there is no measurement. And because of safety reasons, railway imposes a penalty on any overloading. Approximately for each rake of about 4,000 tons cargo, the loss to the customer, I am just estimating this loss as on an average basis, is about 2 to 2.5 lakhs. That works out something like 50 rupees per ton. When you, I think I need not explain that to people, but 50 rupees per ton is going to be a huge amount. But if you look at overall aggregate for a commodity which is moving at high frequency as well as essentially required for coal or iron ore or any other things, the losses are going up to 500 to 1000 crores for each powerhouse. What we intended to do is that establishing these terminals with modern facilities of silos, which has been lagging behind. So we are doing that. We are also doing some of the things that some of the rail container terminals which are going to come up are going to be with most advanced facilities of handling and connectivity. So some of the issues which have been raised in this forum have been noted, and we are addressing those issues of connectivity, issues of provision of proper facilities in the terminals. These are going to be some of the integral features of national logistics policy as enunciated. And I am proud to say that we have been adopting all those things. So in the next, in fact 2023, we are going to see some exhilarating events coming up. Today we have awarded the first terminal on Western DFC for one of the rail container terminals. We had forecast that it will be the part of the revenue, revenue sharing and all that. So I am told that the revenue sharing has been given to us in the maximum level. I will disclose that, will come through the press release. I just got that message, so I am not yet fully familiar with that. But we have awarded that terminal. This is the forerunner. The traffic which is coming from the ports. In fact, I realized way back the civilization started in the port areas through the ports, and Adam Smith, who has been the father of economics, has also said ports are the gateways to wealth. Now we see Gujarat ports are connected to us, and other ports are also coming. We are also going ahead with connectivity to major ports and other ports which are developing here. Vadhavan port is coming up, Nandagaon port is coming up. We are already into SPVs with that under the port development schemes of DFC. I see a huge and an exciting future. And for this multimodal summit, I can only say that we have adopted this entire national logistics policy. We have already followed that, the integral part of this Gati Shakti policy. So you will all be seeing the benefits, and anything people can get to us, and we will be there to definitely follow. And somebody was talking about railway connectivity and all that. I can only talk about the freight because, as you have seen, I am representing the dedicated freight, so I am dedicated to freight. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Srinivas, for the presentation on the dedicated work of the dedicated.
I wanted to interact with many of you are our clients and many of you are our customers. So I wanted to thank our customers, sir. I wanted to thank you because of your support, Western Railways have broken a 7-year-old record of highest ever loading over Western Railways. And we have broken it 2 months in advance. We have still 2 months to go. Earlier we had loaded around 87.91 million tons. Now we had crossed that threshold value. And we are going to enter the 100 million ton club of Indian Railways. So this will be the first non-coal railway, because all the traditional coal loading railways are the 100 million ton railways. So I really want to thank you all for that. And I believe that today's topic, the PM Gati Shakti and national logistics policy and what future we envisage, I firmly believe that the things have already started turning around. The way we are seeing the growth in our traffic, in our freight traffic over Western Railway, imagine we are almost growing at a rate of 25%, which is huge by any standards. It's a huge growth. It's quite a quantum leap. So I feel that the effects of this PM Gati Shakti and the national logistics policy will be very beneficial for the entire industry. Just to put some perspectives, the PM Gati Shakti Yojana envisages almost 1.2 trillion US dollars into Indian economy. We on the Indian Railways, we are expecting to add as a part of this PM Gati Shakti, we are planning to add around 400 new Vande Bharat Express trains. And I was hearing to the previous panel, many of them were saying that Kandla and Nandita area is not very well connected, which is true actually, which is not connected by rail and even by air also, which was discussed. So I think we can expect some of the Vande Bharat trains, or someone was also in since we will be completing our doubling of Palanpur to Samakheli section. In coming next 2 months, the entire this route doubling work will be completed. That will add huge line capacity for us. Right now it was a bottleneck for us because at Palanpur we had Sri Nanduri Srivas on one side with a DFC line with a huge capacity, a double line, and on another side we had North NWR. They also had a double line. And all these 2 lines of NWR and 2 lines of DFCC used to merge into the single line of Palanpur. So for long, Western Railways was carrying all this burden on a single line, and it is very difficult. The capacity is very less in the single line. So we are now doubling, and this doubling project will be completed by within next 2 months. That will add up to our running capacity. In fact, we are already thinking of quadrupling. We have already started the process of quadrupling this section because the potential is immense. We have on the western ports, we have 2 big ports, major ports to cater for. And in fact, Samakheli to Gandhidham section, we are thinking of quadrupling it immediately because of the quantum of traffic we are expecting. Apart from that, Indian Railways have identified around 196 critical projects, infrastructure projects, which will be monitored by on PM Pragati mode. Out of this, these are all infrastructure gap projects which will further add into our line capacity over the overall Indian Railways. And we are trying to revamp around 200 railway terminals. In fact, during earlier discussion, there was a talk about cargo getting damaged, and these are the genuine concerns of our customers. And we also feel that our terminals are not good. And so there is a major plan to revamp some of the important terminals. We will be revamping around 200 terminals, and we are trying to add 300 more terminals pan-India basis. So that is also part of our PM Gati Shakti Yojana. So 300 more new terminals over the next 5 years we are trying to generate. Apart from that, we will be inducting freight fleet of BCNMTs and Boxen wagons so that we are able to cater for the new additional traffic which we are getting. In fact, since as a railways we are a bulk carrier, there have been demands of less than train load or even lesser than that, and that is one area which as a railways we are not able to give good solutions. So now there is a plan in Indian Railways. Actually, since we are now replacing our coaching rolling stock fleet we are replacing. So the old ICF coaches which will be released, we are planning to convert them into parcel kind of coaches which will have a lesser capacity, and these kind of trains also will be available. Say for example somebody wants to carry around less than 500 tons load. So that kind of trains and that kind of coaches can be made available. Even people can procure those coaches and run their own trains. So this smaller segment is also Railways is trying to look at. In fact, we are collaborating with the Indian Postal Department, and trying to start some services which can give us a door-to-door experience for our customers. The Postal Department, they will pick up smaller parcels or smaller cargo from the door of the customer, and they will be in collaboration with us. We will carry it, and again the Postal Department will collect it from us and then deliver it to the door to door. So we are trying to use the Postal Department because the Postal Department have immense manpower available across the country, and due to this technology now, the relevance of post is going down. So this is one way we are trying to use the services of the Postal Department. Apart from that, some new projects for this area which we are looking at will be the Bhuj-Nalia and Vayo. The new line, Bhuj-Nalia Vayo also has in principle been sanctioned, so that will also help us to carry more because it's a mineral rich area. And Railways is gearing up for 100% railway route electrification. And this will become reality in like coming months. Maybe by the end of this year, we are expecting that Railways complete all the electrification, 100% electrification projects. We are on track for it, and I think that will be achieved. Since it is about Gati Shakti, the Railways have decided to have its own Gati Shakti Multimodal Cargo Terminal policy, which we call the GCT policy, which many of you are aware. And this is basically for development of the cargos, and we need your participation in that. And this new policy is very beneficial. In fact, most of you are aware of the policy. One of the most important salient feature of this policy is that we have large land parcels available with us. And earlier, we were not giving land to our customers for railway use also. We were not allowing them. But in this policy now, there is a huge policy change, and the land will be made available. You can build your terminal on a railway land. Railway will spare you that land. So, lot of capital investment, capex, which goes waste into procuring land, that will be saved. So it might be and then we get the business. So it will be a very win-win situation. So I take this opportunity to again request all of you are the major players in the logistics, to have a look at our new Gati Shakti cargo terminal policy and have a serious thought at it, because with the change in this land licensing policy, this has become a viable opportunity, it is certainly a viable prospect. And this will add to our terminal capacities, and further it will help us for good mobility. In fact, Railways has around 500 square kilometer of land available, and we are getting good response to this policy. On Western Railways itself, we have identified around 18 to 20 locations where people have shown interest. Out of this, we have already commissioned 2 of them, and this year we are planning to commission 6 terminals, and next year we are planning to commission 12 more terminals. So this cargo terminal policy of Railways, I would again request all of you to have a look at it and try to join into this and try to help us develop more cargo terminals. I once again thank you all for helping Indian Railways and particularly Western Railways to achieve record level of loading. In fact, we were so encouraged with this response. And sir was just telling about the coal circuits and the congestion in the coal networks. We had discussions with the power ministry, and we are in talks with them to divert the coal from the eastern ports to the western ports via coastal shipping, and from here we will be trying to supply the coal to the northern hinterland. In fact, they are calling it Rail Sea Rail (RSR), and I think some tenders were also out. Initially there was no response, but now there is some response, and we will be hoping some coal traffic coming at Westport, Mundra and the Dahej port through this policy. So using railways and coastal shipping, and again railways, so that congestion of the eastern sector of India is bypassed, and we have immense capacity in the western sector thanks to again DFCC. So I feel the prospects are really good, and we are trying to improve the speeds, as sir had already told on that issue. We are also trying to the new fleet which we are trying to induct will be much more customer friendly, and we will be looking at various issues. We had noted down various issues, the various customer concerns, mainly about cargo handling, and then the uncertainty of getting wagons. All those issues we have noted down, and we will try to improve as far as possible. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Narendra. The last speaker of the day is Mr. Rahul.
नमस्ते श्री एस.के. मेहता साहब, श्री पाटिल साहब, श्री निवासा साहब, श्री मोहन साहब और यहाँ उपस्थित सभी भाइयों और बहनों को मेरा नमस्ते. Before I will go to my subject, which allotted to me by Sudhir, I would like to congratulate with all of you to Sri S.K. Mehta sir and Sri Nandi Sukla sir and his team to allocate and to complete successfully bidding of Tuna Tikra project. Basically, I am connected with the coastal shipping, so I am aware that, and I know that Tuna Tikra will support coastal shipping in India. Also, I like to say that 80% of the coastal container traffic is handled by Kandla Port. Kandla Port is the gateway of coastal shipping of India. How Kandla Port is working, मैं आपको एक चीज़ में बताना चाहूँगा. मेरा नाम राहुल मोदी है. It is a mixture of foreign and Indian. So ये इंग्लिश और हिंदी सब साथ में चलता है. मैं आपको बताना चाहूँगा कि कांडला पोर्ट किस तरीके से काम करता है. कांडला पोर्ट is the first port in India to give the waiver on the grounded in the pandemic situations. जब कोरोना था, मिनिस्ट्री ने काफ़ी सारे सर्कुलर्स निकाले, कोई पोर्ट आगे नहीं आया. मैंने मेहता साहब से करीबन में टच में था, एंड मेहता साहब गिवन मी एश्योरेंस दैट राहुल भाई वी विल डू, एंड मुझे बताते हुए गर्व है कि कांडला पोर्ट ने 21 डेज फ्री ग्राउंडेड दिया था. दिस इज अ बिग सपोर्ट टू द कोस्टल शिपिंग एंड आई थिंक एक्सिट शिपिंग आल्सो. उसके बाद कांडला शिपिंग में कोस्टल के लिए काफ़ी कंजेशंस होता था, तो इतने कंजेशंस के बाद बहुत सारी चीज़ें ऐसा आता था कि ये पोर्ट पे काम करना मुश्किल हो गया है. मैं पर्सनली मेहता साहब को करीबन 3-3:30 बजे दोपहर में मिला. मैंने मेहता साहब को बोला, मेहता साहब कोस्टल का गेटवे है, हम लोग मेजर पोर्ट को सपोर्ट करना चाहते हैं, गवर्नमेंट पोर्ट को सपोर्ट करना चाहते हैं, और कुछ इश्यूज ऐसे हैं, अगर उस इश्यूज को हम सोल्व नहीं कर पाएंगे तो हमें और कोई रास्ता देखना पड़ेगा. मुझे बताते हुए बहुत खुशी हो रही है कि रात को 11:30 बजे मुझे KICT टर्मिनल से मैसेज आया कि राहुल भाई वो जो प्रॉब्लम जो था, जो आपने डिस्कस किया था, वो प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्यूशन चेयरमैन साहब ने दे दिया है और हमको पार्किंग के लिए नया स्पेस मिल गया. Why I am sharing this with you? Because I want to explain you that if you have to develop your port, you have to take actions. If you will take actions, then your port will develop. Kandla port is a mega port. अभी थोड़े दिन पहले मुझे भी ये एक लाभ मिला था कि उनके साथ में ऑयल जेटी नंबर 7 को ओपनिंग करने के लिए मैं उनके साथ था. मुझे पता पड़ा कि 7 जेटी के जो मतलब 7 जेटी के उनको जो टाइम लगा है, उनके बीच में उनको जो भी हर्डल्स आए ना, वो हर्डल्स में शायद आपसे शेयर करूँगा तो आप सोचोगे इतने टाइम में नहीं हो सकता, मगर मैं उसका एक गवाह हूँ कि मैंने देखा कि 7 जेटी उन्होंने अभी थोड़े दिन पहले ही उन्होंने इनोग्रेट किया, 8 जीटी में कर रहे हैं. ओके, सो थैंक्स मेहता साहब, शुक्ला साहब एंड ऑल डीपीटी टीम to support coastal, because I am a national sitting board member, but before that I am a coastal sitting member. So thanks to Mehta sahab. Multimodal. We are all discussing about the multimodal, but you know that what is the multimodal? 1st July 2017, when GST was introduced in India, I would like to share with you that there was no multimodal category under the GST. No multimodal category. We are discussing on the multimodal. GST has not given any category, any HSN code under the multimodal. Myself and my team, 1 year fighting with so many departments, even with TRU, even with finance, so etc. In 2018, we get the multimodal GST category. That is with the rate of 12%. Why 12%, Arvindji? Because coastal shipping is 5%, rail is 5%. But in July, when GST was introduced, there was one category. If you move the container by rail, it was 12%. So multimodal, so they were, TRU is also in confusion how they will go from 12 to 5, because rail, container movement of the rail, it is also multimodal. So at that time we had discussed that okay, we will go with 12% and we will first introduce the category and then we will try our best to reduce. But after this, I think that reduction of the rate in the India is very tough, because if they will go for the reduction, they are ready to give 5% without ITC. But without ITC is a cost to the customers. So we as an association, we are not accepting this. Our fighting is that multimodal, we are discussing on the multimodal. There is no document for the domestic multimodal. Samay, am I right? There is no document for the domestic multimodal. You cannot insure your cargo under the domestic multimodal category. So multimodal is a small baby. We have to work a lot on the multimodal, because I know multimodal. Multimodal document, if government will not come with the multimodal document, multimodal will not success. Because if any freight provider, any service provider have to give some document, they are giving LR, they are giving small documents. I have no idea about which to do. But the multimodal document is also required. So now we will come to my topic, which alluded to. Oh, sorry. I stand before in the capacity of member of a national shipping board to share my thoughts on the relationship between the two biggest launches by Government of India towards transforming the Indian logistic industries to become one pair with the Western and foreign nations. I would like to light on the national shipping board, because I have so many persons asking me what is the national shipping board. The National Shipping Board is a permanent statutory body established in 1959 to advise the Government of India and Ministry of Shipping and Waterways on matters related to shipping. The board has played a very eminent role in the maritime development of the country. Presently, the board headed by our recently retired Shipping Secretary, Shri Sanjeev Ranjan ji. No, previous. If we look at the way the logistic industry is shaping up under the able leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, we can understand that development of the logistic industry is happening in two phases. First is boosting logistic infrastructure, and second is streaming system and processes. Next. First is Gati Shakti. Before going to my topic, I like to congratulate Shukla ji also. Shukla ji is the person, Nandi Shukla ji, Deputy Chairman, Deputy is the person who has requested government to develop Kandla Airport under the Gati Shakti terminal. We had heard that railway terminals are under Gati Shakti, other terminals are Gati Shakti, but I think that it is the first kind of a request given by the DPT to develop airport under the Gati Shakti. Gati Shakti is bringing together all stakeholders to speed up the development of integrated logistics and infrastructure. PM Gati Shakti national plan was rightly introduced for this purpose. First is the creation quality logistic infrastructure through the introduction of PM Gati Shakti that brings together 22 ministries and departments. It is already proving highly efficient in reducing time taken to implement road and rail infrastructure projects. This is the first phase and the groundwork that goes into developing the country. The project concerns to 7 engines. 7 engines means roads, railways, airports, ports, mass transport, waterways and logistic infrastructure. In the national infrastructure pipeline, NIP will be aligned with the PM Gati Shakti network. As on date, around 1950 data layers up to the village level were mapped under this national master plan. Next. Second is national shipping, national logistic policy. National logistic policy is creating a well-oiled logistic ecosystem to boost logistic efficiency and reduce cost. National logistic policies, a policy intervention addressing all the issues and challenges, boosting logistic-related infrastructures. Also encouraging entrepreneurship, which can ultimately result in the building higher efficiency in the logistic services while reducing overall logistic cost, as well as improving the competitiveness of Indian goods both in domestic as well as export. As pointed out by our Honorable Minister Sir, this much needed policy is only the beginning, while policy coupled with the performance will result in the progress, contributes to the growth of the economy. As all esteemed delegates present here be aware that NLP is not announced suddenly. It has taken 8 years to bring out these policies. Before announcing of this policy, a lot of groundwork will go into it, and it true for NLP too. Next. NLP and PM Gati Shakti. This is the allotted subject to me. How NLP and PM Gati Shakti will work. NLP and PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan are closely linked to each other. In fact, NLP is the next logical step of PM Gati Shakti as it complements the latter in the planning and development of logistic-related infrastructure. While PM Gati Shakti importance on the development of integrated infrastructure that cut across the various manufacturing and service industries in the country, NLP provides an absolute agenda and framework for the development of the entire logistic ecosystem. NLP helps to plan and develop the related infrastructure in a better way through PM Gati Shakti portal. The empowered group of secretaries mean for the monitoring of PM Gati Shakti will also be utilized for monitoring the NLP. Next. The Economic Survey 2023 highlighted the benefits of this initiative is mentioned that support of Indian economy's growth will come from path-breaking measures like PM Gati Shakti, National Logistic Policy and Production-Linked Incentive Schemes. PM Gati Shakti and National Logistic Policy are expected to play a big role in improving India's cost and export competitiveness in the years ahead. 2023, going forward for the year 2023, it says to witness the first harvest benefit from the combined strength of Gati Shakti and NLP. More number of Gati Shakti projects are accepted to be implemented this year. At the same time, the potential of the NLP will be unleashed through implementation. So this year we can accept some great strides as far as the Indian logistic industry is concerned. Basically, I am a person of a coastal shipping. So there I will take 2 minutes on the coastal shipping with your permission. Green logistics. Coastal shipping is a green logistics. I would like to share with all of you because I think that ship owners are also here. Present coastal shipping fleet is less than 1% with an average of 20 years. Now EG is planning to cut 25 years vessel. So if it will come, in next 5 there will be no vessel for the coastal. and multimodal, and we are discussing with this. But I think that if the such GR will come or it will continue, then there will be more vessels for the coastal shipping. Presently, Indian coastal container shipping trade is catering to 15 ports in 9 coastal states using 15 vessels. Presently, 15 coastal container vessels, capacity of 1,000 to 4,500 TEU size, serving 6 to 7 states and carrying 3 lakh TEUs per month. We can cater to 70 states by using our multimodal transport system. We can achieve present 120 million metric ton movement to grow up to 300 million metric ton. It is container and bulk both. In reference to that, there's like to say that recently, before I think day before yesterday, in budget there was an announcement by Honorable Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharamanji that coastal shipping will be promoted as the energy efficient and lower cost mode of transport, both for passenger and freight through PPP mode with viability give fund. This is a very good step for the coastal shipping, but we have not clear idea that what will be taken under this policy. But sure, it is for the coastal shipping. So I think that coastal shipping, making of container in India under the Atmanirbhar will be also in this policy. But we will discuss later on when the policy will come. I sincerely hope that more number of PPP projects in coastal shipping will come up this year, thus providing better leverage to coastal shipping, short sea shipping and inland waterways as an economical, ecological, energy efficient mode of transportation and accelerating the modal shift towards free moving highways like coastal shipping, short sea shipping and inland waterways. Second, on the airport side, I faced this issue when I was working with the Bhavnagar with Kirit Soni. So that time what we had done, just I will give you the suggestion because I heard from the morning everyone is talking about the airport. My request to Gandhidham all organization, NGOs, associations to form one committee, which we had done in Bhavnagar. To form one committee because Bhavnagar there was a flight and immediately they cancelled the flight. So that time Saurashtra Chamber of Commerce, Kirit Soni was there and they formed one committee and they approached the concerned ministry and they with their local MP and local MLs, and in 1 or 2 months they resolve their issues and the flight started. So this is my suggestion that you please form one committee, whatever your issues under the guidance and under the leadership of DPT, you please present your issues with your local MP and local MLAs. I am 100% sure that this government is keen to solve the issues, and when we have a mega port, and also I think that Mundra port connectivity is also from Kandla, so we have one mega port, one private port, one port is coming. So sure government will hear our problems and they will give us a solution. Thank you for listening me. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Mr. Modi. So that brings us to the end of this session. But although we are late, with a panel like this by my side, I would like to give an opportunity for anyone to raise any issue to any of the panelists here. So it's open. Anybody at the point, please.
So good evening everyone, this is Rohit Bajaj from CW for Companies. This is the present title for this event, and I'm thankful to India Sea Trade for giving us this wonderful opportunity. No questions, it is all about that. जो questions हमें पूछना है शायद यहाँ पे उनके answers नहीं होंगे, क्योंकि हम focus करते हैं on multimodal logistics via sea, and राहुल भाई जैसे coastal shipping की बहुत ज़्यादा care करते हैं. I'm thankful to him also that he is taking that matter, what he mentioned just now. कि अगर 25 years old vessels India से deregistered कर दिए जाएंगे, then you will see no further ship owners in India. And what we are seeing, what we are forecasting as a shipping company, आने वाले future में shipping companies जो ship owners बनना चाहते हैं, basically ठीक है, आप जब shipping start करते हैं, आप scratch से start करते हैं, कोई agencies करते हैं, कोई forwarding करते हैं, कोई husbandry services provide करते हैं. बट बहुत सी शिपिंग कंपनीज का शायद ये टारगेट भी रहता होगा कि हम एक स्टैंडर्ड लेवल पे जाएं, और हमने तो वो ड्रीम से स्टार्ट किया दैट आज मैं एक शिपिंग कंपनी चालू कर रहा हूँ और कल मुझे एक शिप ओनर बनना है. Fortunately, last year we became ship owners. We bought 2 mini bulk carriers, and that is definitely a pride moment. But I am still like I don't want to say that we didn't get any support at all. We built it by ourselves. Although we got funding support from the other private partner, no bankers came forward. After that, अब हम इस लेवल पे आए हैं कि जहाँ पे हम शिपिंग की बात करते हैं और हमारे पास इंडिया में शिप्स ही ना रहेंगे, तो कैसे हम शिप्स चलाएं, कैसे हम कोस्टल शिपिंग को बूस्ट करेंगे, कैसे हम मल्टी मॉडल की बात करेंगे जहाँ पे हम आज इंडिया सी ट्रेड मैरीटाइम नेशनल इंडिया को बहुत अच्छा एक नेशनल बनाना चाहता है मैरीटाइम इंडस्ट्री के सामने, और बहुत से ऐसे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जो इसको बूस्ट करना चाहते हैं. बट जब हमारे पास शिप्स ही नहीं रहेंगे तो कैसे होगा? So this is the time for everyone to raise the voice to government at this horrible situation where you see कि जब ships इंडिया में चलेंगे तब कोई MSC, मर्स्क जैसी बड़ी कंपनी इंडिया में बन सकती है, तब कोई ऐसी कंपनीज यहाँ बन सकती हैं कि हम भी सोचें कि we may have such large organizations working in Indian flag also. Just I want to mention my heart feelings to everyone. Thanks for everyone's support and thank you so much.
This is to Mr. Narendra Patil. Regarding railway is doing a good on the freight, but something related to those small centers like Bhavnagar. I am from Bhavnagar. So where there is no weighbridge is not there on the railway station. There you are charging because his loading will be done at the Bhavnagar railway station or nearby freight terminal over there. Then the entire cargo moves to Virangam, which has got a nearest weighbridge over there. Then it gets again weighed over there. Then if the entire cargo is carrying some higher capacity, then content needs to be reloaded again, so download again. And there are 2 flows. That entire your crane, the rack weight should be matched at the same time. Container और this डब्बा जो आपका होता है उसका जो weight है वो भी maintain करना होता है. Is it correct or not? I am not sure, but this is the feedback I have got from my people at Bhavnagar. And it is that then in that case they are paying penalty, they are paying so many other charges. This needs to be rethink, or there has to be some facility available at major railway stations, at least in the district.
Yeah, in fact, we had got such requests from other areas also, and we will be trying to. We will be trying to provide weighbridges as far as possible at all the major locations in future. But yeah, right now these kind of issues are there, and we try to come up with something to address this problem.
Narendra, I have a small suggestion in this. This bulk you are talking about, we have actually made a survey and made a small issue. Pilot project we have launched for a miniature silo system, which doesn't normally silos of Coal India and all that, or even in the port will cost about 50 crores. We have developed a system which is mobile as well as capable of loading bulk system with only about 6 crores of investment. It is now under certification. Maybe you can do it under PPP project. People can do it under user charges. You can establish that will solve the problem. This is shortly it will come through. So I'll share with Narendra. I think he can do that. Loose cargo. This is what we have developed. This is developed by again Atmanirbhar. This is Misal.
My name is Manoj Jubera. I've got 2 questions. One is from Mr. Patil and one is from Mr. Modi. Mr. Patil, the question that I'd like to ask is about the warehousing and the railway. That's what you mentioned. So how do we take it forward? Who are the people? How can you, novice in this industry, how can you help them out? Who are the people to get in touch with? That's for you. And Second one is to Mr. Modi. So even the finance minister has given impetus in the coastal shipping in the yesterday's speech. For a novice or a new time in the coastal shipping, how can you encourage them? And what is the support we can expect from you guys? And who are the people to approach? Thank you.
I think by warehouse you are meaning to say the Gati Shakti terminals which I mentioned in my These are basically a freight terminals. Where in these terminals you can have a warehouse there, you can have all kind of facilities there. And for this, you have to approach to the divisional railway manager. He will be the nodal agency, DRN. And the policy, entire policy has been drafted in such a way that one-stop solution will be given to you by the divisional railway manager. So suppose for this area, the divisional railway manager sits in Ahmedabad, DRN Ahmedabad will be the nodal agency. So I think, yeah.
Sure. I'm sorry because when this was announced, immediately I called the ministry and they said they would get back to me, and it's over a month.
No, you can immediately go. Suppose if you have identified a location and you want to start a Gati Shakti terminal there, you can immediately approach the divisional manager office and DRM will take it forward. In fact, we have a time-bound this thing. I'll share you the Gati Shakti policy link so that now it will be on a fast track and the DRM will take care of it.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
As your question is on coastal shipping, I think that we have to wait for 2-3 days because day before yesterday, almost 60 hours before finance ministry has given this proposal, so no one is clear on that. I was just discussing with Srinivasa sir also on the Rohit Bhai question that they will give some subsidy or what. We have to wait for 2-3 days. As soon as it will come to our idea, I will share with you. But at present, shipping ministry is the concerned person to contact that. But the idea is not clear by that. But it will take 2-3 days and everything will be clear.
We are not looking for subsidy. We are looking for support, technical knowledge. That's what we are looking for.
For the technical support, there is our division Sagarmala. Sagarmala is there to give all type of assistance. Under them, Sagarmala, if you have any questions, Sagarmala joint secretary is there, Sagarmala directors are there. So you can go and meet them and you can ask your questions and they will give you the answer. If you think that you have any question related to port, then there is another wing of the ports and there is another joint secretary for the ports. For the coastal shipping boards and for the coastal shipping, then Sagarmala is there. Sagarmala have a technical persons also there. They can reply to your questions.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. So that brings us to the end of this session. Over to Deepa for the announcements.
Thank you so much, Munda sir, and thank you gentlemen for that amazing discussion. Let's give them a loud round of applause. That was the evening session. And now may I invite on stage Mr. Rohit Bajaj, Managing Director, Seagull Group of Companies, to present mementos to the panelists. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Rohit Bajaj on stage. I first request Mr. Rahul Modi to kindly step forward and accept the memento from us. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Rahul Modi. Mr. Nanduri Srinivas, we request you to kindly come forward. Thank you so much for joining us, followed by Mr. Narendra Patel. We request you to kindly come forward. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a loud round of applause for Mr. S.K. Mehta, Chairman, Dindal Port Authority. Thank you for joining us, sir. Kindly accept a memento from our end. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Well, we also have the moderator of the session, Mr. K. Mohandas. He is definitely the heart and soul of India's sea trade. It does not require this expression of love, but just for our satisfaction, kindly accept this memento from our end. So we're truly grateful for all your support. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, gentlemen. May I request you to kindly pose for a quick photograph. Well, after the photograph, we will be giving away our token of love to all our sponsors. We have a small request for all sponsors to kindly stay back inside the hall. It would be really nice if all of you, all representative of the sponsors, can be in the hall itself. So we'll be proceeding to that right after this photograph. Thank you so much, gentlemen. May I request Mohandas sir to kindly stay back on stage and the other gentlemen to join the audience. Kindly be seated. Well, moving ahead, ladies and gentlemen, I would like, of course, Mr. K. Mohandas sir is already on stage, so no special invitation for him. India Sea Trade extends heartfelt thanks to the esteemed sponsors for the support extended to this business summit. This would never have been possible without your gracious support. It would really not have been possible to organize such an event without your support. We look forward to your continued support in future as well. We would like to call upon stage the representatives and sponsors to receive the memento. As I call out the name of the sponsor, may I request the representative to kindly walk up on stage. First, of course, none other than Seagull Group of Companies. May I request the representative to kindly come on stage and receive a memento. Yes. May I request Mr. Rohit to kindly come on stage. Thank you so much, Seagull Group, for all your support. The next sponsor on stage, Matchlog. Matchlog. Thank you so much, Matchlog, for all your support. Win-Win Maritime Limited. Win-Win Maritime Limited. Thank you, sir, for all your support. Thank you so much. Moving on to Neva Sheva Shipping. Welcome, sir. Thank you so much for all the support. The next sponsor on stage, Accuracy Shipping. Do we have the representative from Accuracy Shipping here? Next, Transworld Terminals. Can we have the representative from Transworld Terminals to kindly come on stage? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a loud round of applause for the lady on stage. Probably the first lady, apart from me, who is on stage today. That's Transworld Terminals. Thank you for your support. Adani Ports and Says Limited. Adani Ports and Says Limited. Thank you so much, Adani Ports and Says Limited, for your kind support. Next, Deen Dayal Port Authority. Deen Dayal Port Authority. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give the representative a large round of applause. Let's give Deen Dayal Port Authority an applause of gratitude for supporting us. Pushpak Logistics Solutions. Pushpak Logistics Solutions. That's Pushpak Logistics Solutions. Thank you. Argus Global Logistics. Argus Global Logistics. Thank you so much, Argus Global Logistics, for your kind support. I'd like to call the next sponsor representative, Total Transport Systems. Total Transport Systems. Do we have a yes? Welcome, sir. Thank you. TriStar Logistics India Private Limited. Do we have the representative from TriStar Logistics India Private Limited? Yes, welcome, sir. Thank you. Thank you, TriStar Logistics India Private Limited. Our next sponsor is Iconship. May we have the representative from Iconship on stage? Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Iconship. Thank you so much for extending your support towards us at this summit. Thank you so much. The next sponsor, APM Terminal, Pipavav. APM Terminal, Pipavav, thank you for your kind support. Our next sponsor, Indian Oil Corporation Limited. Thank you so much, Indian Oil Corporation, for associating with us. Thank you. Our next sponsor, DCM Container. DCM Container. We'll move on to the next sponsor, Landmark CFS. Yes, please keep the applause coming. Do not hesitate. Landmark CFS, thank you so much for the kind support extended to us. Lot of gratitude for the support, Landmark CFS. Next, Delhi Logistics. Can we have the representative from Delhi Logistics? Thank you so much for all your support, ladies and gentlemen. That's Delhi Logistics. Next is Fast Track CFS. Thank you so much for all the support. Fast Track CFS. Next sponsor on stage, Majestic Maritime. Majestic Maritime. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you so much for all the support. eShip Global Logistics. eShip Global Logistics. Welcome on stage. eShip Global Logistics, thank you for your kind support. AB Logitrans LLP, the next sponsor. Welcome. And a huge thank you from our hearts. Thank you so much, AB Logitrans LLP. The next sponsor, Inayat Cargo Services. Thank you so much, sir. Inayat Cargo Services. Thank you, Inayat Cargo Services. The next sponsor on stage will be Cargo Trans Maritime. Cargo Trans Maritime. Welcome on stage. Thank you, Cargo Trans Maritime. Our next sponsor on stage will be Abrao Group. Thank you, Cargo Trans. Abrao Group. Welcome. Thank you so much, Abrao Group. Our next sponsor will be Navdeep Shipping. Navdeep Shipping. I hope we have the representatives. Thank you so much, Navdeep Shipping, for all your support. Our next sponsor on stage will be Standard Multimodal. Standard Multimodal. Thank you, Navdeep Shipping. Thank you so much. Do we have the representative from Standard Multimodal here? Our next sponsor on stage will be BS&B Containers. BS&B Containers. Thank you so much, Standard Multimodal. Thank you. BS&B Containers. Our next sponsor would be Combined Logistics. Combined Logistics. Thank you, BS&B Containers, for the support. Combined Logistics, do we have a representative? Yes. Welcome. Thank you so much. Combined Logistics will be followed by Globus Transitors. Globus Transitors. Thank you so much. Globus Transitors. Welcome on stage. Globus Transitors will be followed by Chakyat Agencies. I request the representative to kindly be ready. Thank you so much, Globus Transitors, for your support to the summit. Thank you so much. Next, we have Chakyat Agencies. Thank you so much, Chakyat Agencies, for your support. The next sponsor will be Bunch Logistics. Bunch Logistics. Thank you, Chakyat Agencies, once again. Next is Bunch Logistics. Welcome, sir. Welcome on stage. And thank you for the support. The next sponsor would be Goodwill Intermodal. Representative may kindly be ready. Goodwill Intermodal. Do we have the... Thank you so much, sir. Goodwill Intermodal, yes. Goodwill Intermodal will be followed by Shri Shipping Services. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a loud round of applause. Without these sponsors, we never would have come together today. So, this is Goodwill Intermodal. Thank you so much. Shri Shipping Services, welcome on stage. The next sponsor would be Team Global Logistics. Thank you so much, Shri Shipping Services. Next is Team Global Logistics. Do we have the representative from Team Global Logistics? Alright, I don't think we have. Shri Patni Logistics. do we have a representative from Shri Patni Logistics? Welcome, sir. Thank you for the support. The next sponsor, kindly be ready, Seacon Shipping. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Shri Patni Logistics. Thank you so much. The next sponsor on stage is Seacon Shipping. Welcome on stage and thank you for the support. Next sponsor will be Simcon. Simcon. Thank you so much. If we do not have, yes. Thank you so much. The next sponsor will be Logiveda. Thank you so much, Mr. Shah. Thank you very much for joining us. The next sponsor will be Go Green Warehouse. Go Green Warehouse. Thank you, sir. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's Go Green Warehouse. Welcome on stage, sir, and thank you for the kind support. The next sponsor will be Transpost. Transpost. Thank you so much, Go Green Warehouse, and this is Transpost. And the next sponsor is Dangerous Goods Management India. Thank you, Transpost. May I request a representative from Dangerous Goods Management India? Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Those were our sponsors. Let's give them one more loud round of applause for all their gracious support, and we look forward to your continued support in future. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir, for doing the honors. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to propose vote of thanks, I'd like to call up on stage Mr. P.G. Nair, Commercial Director, India Seed. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Respected Sri S.K. Mehta sir, Chairman DPA, Sri Narendra Patil ji, CFTM, Western Railway, Sri Nanduri Srinivas ji, Director DFCC, Sri Rahul Movi ji, Member NSP, and Sri Arvind Chaudhary ji, Director General of FAI, and our Mohandas sir, Nandish Shukla ji, Deputy Chairman sir, and our most valued invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I think all will not be interested to listen vote of thanks. I will not elaborate it. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. I, on behalf of India Sea Trade and the entire team, let me call it fraternity of shipping and logistics here together. And on my behalf, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to all the speakers for raising the occasion and sharing us your findings and offerings today. A big thank you to all the speakers and special thanks to Sri Samir ji, JBS Group, and Sri Radhakrishnan sir, Fast Track CFO, for wonderfully moderating this session. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to place on record your hearty thanks to the esteemed sponsors for the support that has been extended at the Multimodal Logistics 2023. We will not be able to organize such an event without their support. I also extend my thanks to Redishan Kandla and the entire event team for perfect logistic support, guidance, enormous cooperation for this event. Well, ladies and gentlemen, an event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling months ago. It requires planning and a bird's eye for detail. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated colleagues who know their job very well and are result oriented. I cannot thank everyone enough for their involvement and their willingness to take on the completion of tasks beyond the comfort zone. Once again, I want to state that we are all most grateful to all the speakers on this stage. We thank you for being with us this evening. It has been a great pleasure. Thank you very much. The dinner counter is open. I request all to proceed. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, with this, the third edition of the Multimodal Logistics Summit 2023 draws to a close. One large round of applause one more time for India Sea Train for pulling this around. Thank you so much, and thank you, India Sea Train and Mr. Sudhir, for giving me this opportunity to address all of you. We will return with many more business summits to address and debate issues pertaining to our industry, and we hope to see you all with your active participation there. Before summing up, ladies and gentlemen, India Sea Train is delighted to announce the 4th edition of the Multimodal Logistics Summit 2023 in Novotel, Visakhapatnam on the 12th of May 2023. Requesting all of you to block your date and participate actively. Have a wonderful evening. The dinner counter is open. Kindly proceed. This is Deepa signing off. Good night.